So meeting is being recorded. Oh, we're here in February. Can we believe it? Another month gone. This year's almost over. Good to see you all. Wow, I think there's some exciting to chat about today. I know we've got people doing pretty cool stuff, and I know some of you have connected and been working together and really accountable, which is wonderful. Fred's got an exciting thing to show. Did you show everyone last time, Fred? What?
No, I may have. Let me get it and show you.
Yeah, Fred's got some exciting news for everyone. Yeah, so first thing I think we need to say is happy birthday to Denise. In Australia, the Australians can say happy birthday. The Americans need to wait another few hours. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yay.
That's awesome. There's Fred. Look what Fred's holding up, everyone.
Woohoo!
Finally got it.
I may have showed this last time. I don't know.
No.
It's not available for public. It's not available yet, but it will be available hopefully about 2 or 3 weeks.
Awesome.
Oh, very good.
Let us know, mate. Let us know. We'll do a launch, Fred. We'll discuss that when we chat. We'll maybe in March sometime we'll do a launch. We'll invite everyone to join and we'll have a party. So well done. So well, let's start with Fred, shall we? I mean, most of us here, in fact, most people here have got a book. Most, not everyone. Rosanna doesn't yet. Kat doesn't quite yet. Denise doesn't yet, but everyone else has held their published book in their hands. It's a pretty cool feeling. Fred, tell us, how did it feel for you when that package arrived with your book in it? Just to get us wet out, get us excited.
Unbelievable.
Tell us.
Well, I was expecting it to arrive back in September, and they were having all these supply chain issues back then, so it never arrived. It didn't come until December, and we were going to be going away on our vacation like the next day or two. So I was making arrangements for somebody else to come and monitor my mail to see when the book came so they could pick it up for me. But it came right at the last minute, so I was really excited. It was a lot of anticipation, and I ended up passing it out to some friends, and it was just great, incredible. The end of a very long journey, but the start of another one, and to include pushing sales and getting the book out there. I'm grateful to all of you because you always encourage me every time we would talk. I listen to people with their books and see if that's going to be me one day. And that day finally came. So thank you all very much.
You're welcome, mate. It's a pleasure. I'm so proud of you. And you're right. It is the end of one part, but absolutely the beginning. And I always say this, don't I? Getting your book published is step one. It's always step one. And now the fun stuff, Fred, this is the fun stuff. Getting it out into people's hands, and because I know you've already had some positive feedback, haven't you?
I have. In fact, we were on we just came back just a few minutes ago from a trip. We're gone for a week, and I took a couple copies with me and passed them out to people, and I think I get feedback. I mailed a couple out to a couple of my cousins who just loved it, but they're my cousins, so I expected them to say that, but they have some good feedback.
Your family's honest, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Sometimes too honest, but hey, we won't get into that. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Well done, mate. So has anyone got any questions or comments for Fred at this point? I'm asking him about anything or.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When is it going to be available, Fred?
Hopefully in about 2 or 3 weeks. There were some corrections that needed to be made, so they're working on that now. And she said she'd have it back to me as soon as possible. So that was a couple of weeks ago, so it should come out very soon. I was hoping for the 1st of September. Well, I was a prison librarian for about 10 years. So the first part is about things that happened while I was working in a correctional setting, the law library. And the second part is I explore reasons why there's so many people of color behind bars. And I get into the Black Lives Matter movement and do All Lives Matter, that type of thing. So it's my own personal journey and my personal political philosophy from a Christian perspective.
Very good.
It is good, and it's gonna ruffle some feathers. It's going to challenge some people, and I think that's good. I think that's what a book should do, shouldn't it? You know, you want to write a book that challenges people, challenges their thinking, challenges their status quo, and because that's how you create change. I mean, if you're writing a book that everyone agrees with and everyone's doing, then nothing's going to change. So there's certainly. Fred and I did an interview earlier this week, and that video will be available shortly. But it takes courage. It really does take some courage to, and at this stage in history, really the whole racist thing just should not be happening, should it? I mean, really, we're evolved enough now that there shouldn't be racial issues. There shouldn't, but there still are significant racial issues, certainly. Well, I don't think it's just the US, it's Australia as well, very much so. So I think your book is timely and it's relevant and it's good, mate. So
I question
just
the
enjoy
Christians.
everything you get from it, because you will get you're going to challenge people, and that's okay too. I think any time someone gives you I don't know, you might look at it as a critical response or a aggressive response. It just means you've challenged their thinking, and I think that's a good thing. Sorry, Fred.
I challenge the Christian perspective. During the civil rights struggle, a lot of the Christians were totally against it. They were saying that it's okay that certain groups are treated this way and it's God's will, yada, yada, yada. So I question that. Andrew's right, people are going to feel uncomfortable about it. And hey, that's just the way it is. These are my thoughts, my philosophy, and I'm gonna go with that.
And you've had the courage to put it out to the world, which is awesome, mate. So congrats, Fred. We look forward to hearing more about what's coming up for you and your new book. So good on you.
Okay.
Now, I think I'd like to hear from there's three people on this call today that have this last month decided to connect and keep each other accountable and encourage each other. So I know it's Lisa, Denise, and Rosina. And so I'd love to hear from each of them what's happening, how it's helped, that accountability piece, how they've, I think, what have you connected on is it the Habit Share app? Is that what it is? Yeah. So tell us how that's going for you guys. Who wants to start? Rosanna, you're on mute. You'll have to unmute yourself.
I think the birthday girl should start first.
All right, birthday girl.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, it's been wonderful. I reached out and asked for volunteers to help me set up an accountability club. And Rosina and Lisa both reached out, and I'll let them say how they set it up on Messenger, but we have this little group on Messenger where we can communicate with each other. And then I believe it was Kat who recommended the Habit Share app, and we all got on the app, and you can add friends if you have their email address. And so each day we all have exercise and writing goals. And during the day, you tap on that day and you either put skip or completed, and the other two people that get to see that. So I know when they're all ready for the next day, done their work. I'm always a day behind. And so and when one of us does miss, we usually explain why, and the other two have been coming to that person's aid and making them not feel bad about missing something. And so it's been very supportive, and we've become friends.
Yeah.
That's my perspective.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, good on you for starting that, Denise. You put that out there, and that, so well done for initiating it. So Rosanna, how's it been for you?
It's been great, and I think first of all, just the support and friendship is the top thing for me. I must say, I put my hand up when Denise mentioned it at the last forum, thinking, oh, I really should be doing this, but I really don't want to. And it's amazing. It's for me, I think knowing that there are two people in a similar boat that want to get their writing done, that are showing up. It's meant that my getting to writing has been a non-negotiable each day. the exercise, I put yoga in for mine, which kind of for various reasons has been up and down. And for me, that's okay. But my writing is the priority at the moment. And it's interesting because I remember hearing ages ago that there are some people who are extrinsically motivated, and it tends to be the people pleasers, tends to be people that are trying to look after other people. And so therefore, you know, if they're in a group like an accountability group, they will follow through because they want to sort of keep the other people happy. And I think I'm probably like that. Whereas if it was just to please myself, I might make excuses. So, no, it's been great. And also and it's funny, we sort of seem to be sharing sort of other similar patterns in life at the moment with injuries and other frustrations. So that's been really good to kind of be able to bounce off other things, which I wasn't expecting as a bonus. So I really appreciate the ladies. So thank you. Yeah, it's been awesome. Awesome. And I'm writing every day. Yeah, so it's incredible. Yeah, it's great.
Brilliant. Wonderful. Good job. Well done. Lise, you're the third musketeer, yeah?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I'm the third musketeer. Well, I think it's great too because I'm writing every day as well, and doing the exercise as well. I've I tore a couple of tendons a while ago, and so I've been doing physio for a while, and so I have been doing those exercises as well as writing every day, but I'm hoping now that the physio is nearing its end that I will manage to do other exercises as well. So that's great. Yeah, I think it was quite amazing that I even managed to set up a messenger anything. that was a bonus.
Get tech savvy now, Lise.
But no, it's good. It's really great, and it's working, and that's what's
Power of accountability, hey? Power of accountability.
Yeah. Well, I've been working overtime for the last few weeks as well, and from like 9 till 9, and I don't think I'd have done anything except for the group. I thought, oh no, I just have to write something. So I have, and that wouldn't have happened without the group because I didn't want to let it down. So I did. So it's great. It's going well.
Yeah. So that's an incredibly well done, you three. I'm really proud of you, all of you, and what a wonderful example, and what a wonderful lesson that is. Just because I mean the research is all there around accountability, like the power of accountability. I mean, Lisa, you just said it. You know, because of that accountability, you did it. Without the accountability, you probably wouldn't have. When you're working 9 till 9, you've got a pretty justifiable excuse, and I'm going to use the word excuse because you know I don't let you off lightly, but pretty justifiable though. Like, well, it's been a 12-hour day. The last thing I feel like doing is writing, but because of that accountability, you've done it every day. The you know, just not wanting to let yourself down, not let other people down. It's strong, isn't it? That community and that friendship that you're building, you really feel like, you know, if I don't do it, then I'm giving others in the group, I'm giving them permission not to do it as well. So it's almost like if I do it, then you're inspiring, and there's such a beautiful relationship and dynamic happening in this. So I want to encourage anyone that's sort of struggling a little bit with writing or whatever they're trying to do on a daily basis to reach out, and maybe I'm sure Rosina, Denise and Lisa wouldn't mind adding another person or two to their little accountability group. If you want to, just reach out, and I'm sure they would be happy to welcome you on board. That's awesome. Well done, ladies. Hello, Sabrina, how are you?
Hi there. Not too bad.
So yeah,
just in time to catch on about the accountability side of things, and I've realised, yep, I'm way behind the 8 ball in a lot of things. So,
well, Sabrina, maybe you need to connect with these three ladies. Put your hand up, ladies, the accountability ladies. There's Rosina, there's Lisa, and there's Denise. And, you know, if you wanted to, I'm sure they would welcome you in. And if you want to get back into your writing and do it every day.
Yeah.
It takes a bit of guts. Look, trust me, it takes
Yeah.
a bit of guts to do this, because when you say you're going to do it, you know, and then you're not giving yourself an out or an excuse, and you're putting it out on a more of a, I'm not going to say public forum, but it's, you know, if you're saying to three other people, hey, I'm going to do it every day, you're putting an expectation on yourself, which I think we need to do that, but it's not always easy. So, anyway,
Definitely not.
that
Yep.
option is there for you if you want to.
Yeah, because there's always a lot of pressure. I mean, at the moment of, you know, full-time work, and I've also got two different types of study that I'm trying to do. One of them is relating to writing, which be good to, you know, use as a bit of a, you know, come on, you could get into it and do it. Yeah. So a couple of injuries I've had have also made things difficult because it affected my writing hand. Yeah, but at the end of the day, sometimes it feels like an excuse, or you let, and then, you know, you can slide into a bit of a spiral.
Well, I think we all know, what's an excuse and what's legitimate, don't we? We know deep down, you don't need someone else to tell you that. You know if it's a legitimate reason why you can't spend at least 5 minutes doing something on your book, you know that. But we'll always come back to why you're doing it. Did you want to say something there?
I did. I think, Sabrina, when you came in, you actually missed me saying that I really didn't want to join the group.
All right.
but just needed to, and I just thought it would be great. And I completely hear what you're saying. And I think maybe lowering what you think you need to be doing in terms of your writing. Start small. Say, look, you know, if it's, I'm going to write 50 words, or I'm going to spend 5 minutes, whatever that little, you know, hurdle is for you initially, and that's okay. And I think, and it's like Andrew says, well, you know, he goes on a bit, but he talks about the power of the habit, and it's true. And
I go on a bit. Are you saying I over?
Yeah.
Are you saying I talk too much? Is that what you're saying?
True, and it's so. No, I didn't say that yet. Maybe, but there is truth there, and so just starting small. I think I used to have this idea I had to do this. It always had to be this big thing, and it had to, whatever I was writing had to be really good. But no, I think it's funny because with the group, I found that I'm being a bit more relaxed about my writing. And it doesn't have to be the, you know, Pulitzer Prize winning sentence every time. So it's just doing it. And, you know, that old thing that you can't, you know, correct or write a second draft if you haven't done your first. So just, So you're welcome to join, and we don't bite generally.
Not hard.
You know,
it's hard to do that over WhatsApp.
And we're all, you know, taking our own steps. So yeah.
Well, and when that app sends you your reminder that you're due for your writing, or for me, my exercise as well, you know that at the end of the day, you're going to have to either check off that you did it or check off that you skipped it. And so by checking off, it just gives you that momentum to open up your computer and write something. And then before you know it, you're hitting your goals and setting even higher ones. This group has done exactly for me what I needed it to do, was to hold myself accountable to write every day.
That sounds good.
Yeah, me too, Denise. Really powerful.
Look, no pressure, Sabrina.
No pressure.
No, exactly. Please don't feel pressured at all. Okay, let's move on. Thank you, everyone, so far. Anyone else got anything they want to add to the mix? Any thoughts, ideas, messages, lessons, struggles, challenges, inspiration, breakthroughs, anything? Deb.
I just wanted to say I'm happy to be back. It's taken me a long time. I got very ill with COVID. They thought I was going to die, and I was in a coma for several days. and that screwed with my brain for a long time. But I'm now back up to about 80% functioning. So I thought now's the time to dive back in. And as usual, I'm reading the book that I'm tidying up, and I'm crying at my own writing. So it's got to be good, doesn't it? Yeah.
That is good. As long as you're crying because it's good, not because it's terrible.
Yes, yes.
Good. Well,
Like my
I mean, Deb, I mean, again, wow. Just no,
That's
it's
amazing.
a lot more than COVID to kill you, that's for sure. I mean, you are
Yep.
a tough bird, no doubt about it. And again, just shows what we can do with the power of our mind, hey? The power of
Yes.
choices we make and what's possible.
Yes.
So, well
I
done.
did wake up and say I've decided to leave, which surprised everyone, including me.
Wonderful.
Well, you can't
Well,
go yet. You got stuff to do. We've got things.
Yes,
to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
Thank
can't be
you.
going anywhere. Awesome. Thanks, Deb, and well done.
Thank
and
you.
good to be back. Anyone else got anything they want to? Yes, Justine.
I published my children's book in a hardcover this week.
Cool.
Congrats.
Thanks. So it came out in softcover, and I was never like entirely happy with it. You know, I was proud that I got that far, and it's been one hell of a learning curve, because when we published it in the softcover, we picked a size that was not universal worldwide. So then to get it on things like Amazon and that, we picked the only size that wasn't available. So the whole book had to be resized. And anyway, we got through it all. And yeah, I'm waiting on the delivery again, but I think the delivery will come when I'm away, but that's all right. It'll be here when I get back, and very excited to actually feel it in a hardcover. So children's books need to be hardcover, because the covers fall off with the kids looking at them all the time.
Mhm.
So there's a tip.
Well done. Good job.
Thanks.
That's a good lesson to learn about size of book too.
Yeah, A4 was the book that we picked. And A4 is generally just an Australian size, not an American size. And
Yeah.
they don't print A4. They do here in Australia, but the price difference was for an A4 hardcover in Australia, I was looking for about $25 per unit, including GST.
To
And
print.
for printing.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why I went soft cover to start with. And we wanted to, you know, keep in Australia as well to start with. But then I found a printer that prints all around the world, but does have print presses in Australia. And so using those, and it's less than half to print with this new printer. So yeah, you know, lessons learned, and it's all a journey, and, you know, I'm not cranky about it because it was the right thing to do at the right time. And we've just moved, you know, further down the track and that from it. So,
yeah.
And, you know, the exposure that I got out of that publication and printing it that first run has been massive. So
Awesome.
you know, continuing from that, and in the process of formulating some, as Andrew knows, some anthology books as well, and they're being released. The next one's being released to the public to sign in with anyone that's got MS throughout Australia. So some exciting projects coming along with book writing there as well.
Good job.
Cool.
Always a good report.
10 chapters down in my book.
Yay!
What a journey.
What a journey. It's all a journey, isn't it? It's a journey. That's what it is. This is definitely a journey of, people think it's about writing a book. It's not got nothing to do with writing a book, does it? It's about overcoming you. That's what we're doing here. You know what you're doing is when you've got your book published, you know you've overcome a lot of stuff. So that's why when you hold that book, it's not just about the book. And you've heard me, Rosanna will, I'm sure, will agree, as she always says, I go on a bit, but it's not about the book. It's not, is it? You know, when you actually get that book in your hand, probably the things that you're most proud of have got nothing to do with the book. Probably the things you're most proud of what you actually had to overcome to get the book.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. I mean, for those of you that have been doing this for a long time and still don't have it, you know you're overcoming you, right? That's what you're doing. And when you hold the book, there it is in big hardcover, you know, real time evidence that you have overcome you. And that's why this is such a beautiful journey and a wonderful achievement when you get there. So, well done, Justine. Who haven't we heard from yet? We haven't heard from Cherie. Cherie, tell us a bit about all the great stuff you're doing. You're always doing good stuff.
Oh, I mean, the list is so long, we'd have to do another meeting. No, I mean, I was looking forward to coming tonight. It's at a time when I needed a safe place, and y'all make me feel so very safe. Yeah, I did. There's been some fun things. I went to my first National Speakers Association meeting, and that was fun. I met a really neat guy, Mike Robertson, and he showed me how to do PowerPoints and Keynote using GIF files so that it's real animated and very engaging. So that's good. So I'll be changing some of my slides and things and the way I do things to up my game a little bit. And while I was there, one of the Toastmasters stood up and pointed me out, and he said, "That's Cherie, and she's the reason that my book is so successful." I was just, I really need, it's just, I don't know about you guys, but validation can never come at a bad time. And I just needed that to hear that it really made a difference to somebody that, and he really meant it. And I said, no, Kevin, I said, you wrote the book. It's amazing. But I'm really honest when I do a book critique. So when he asked me to do it, I did it like I always do it. And then said, no, I wouldn't put my endorsement on the front of this book unless he made some changes. Well, as it turned out, he had already done beta readers and was ready to publish. I guess he just thought, well, I better look into this. And it turns out everybody agreed with me, and people just said they didn't want to say what I said. And the book is really good, much better. But I didn't do it. He wrote it. It's just that I was honest with him in what he needed to do to make it engaging. Everybody's memoir is awesome, but it has to mean something to me and to everybody else. It's what is the message, not necessarily the journey, because your journey is special, but it's only special if you're able to share it in a way that I can relate to that. And that's really what his book needed. And it wasn't as big as it sounded, but yeah, it made me feel real good. So that's my big thing.
That's great, Cherie. Well done. You're having a positive impact on lives, which is wonderful. That's why we're here, hey? That's what we want to do. Well done. Like a pregnant pause. Nothing like a good stop, reflect.
How are you going, Kat?
I'm glad you asked that question, Rosanna, because I was going to, and I didn't want to put pressure on Kat, but I'm glad you've done it.
Oh, I'm cool. I don't know. Yeah. Project 1. Physics Reviewer has 5 chapters to go. Should be coming back over the next few days. It's been good to see their review. They don't like, they're wonderful. You'd like her, Cherie. She's like, I don't like this sentence, which is great, but she doesn't like it because she doesn't like how it's worded. She has nothing to do with the physics, which is, hey, it's like a 2-for-1. So it's been nice to see that she hasn't had any problems with the physics itself, which was my main concern. And then I'm also getting some nice opinion on writing and flow, which is great because she's got an educational background as well. So her getting kind of back into it has kind of unblocked that. It's also enabled me to put some pressure on my project partner on that one as well, to say like, hey, you got to get your bum in gear as well. So that's been cool. I've started writing another project that's for me, for fun. Maybe someday it'll be something to publish or whatever, but it's just reconnecting after I finished the first draft of the physics book, and that was 600 and whatever days writing every single day, and then it just sort of fell off a cliff because it's just like, I don't know what I'm doing now. So this project is, well, I think it's a lot of fun. So that's why I'm doing it.
Fun is good.
Yeah, fun is good. And then maybe starting something kind of tangentially related to what I actually do as the job for another project, but we'll see. Yeah, it's been a weird couple of weeks for me. A week. What's today? Today's Saturday. Yeah. So last Thursday I went into work, and there was a post that 10% of us would not have jobs by the end of the day, and I won that lottery ticket. So I've been reframing over the last week and sort of just.
Sorry,
Yeah.
did you say you won't have a job?
So by last Friday, my computer was remotely wiped, and that was that. So I do not have a job, as a matter of fact. So it was handled really well.
So you're unemployed right now?
I sure am. So
they
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 10% of us were gone by that's just done. So
They
and
give
they
you
made
some
some
money?
interesting choices. I mean, as much as I'd like, but they did. Hey, they let me know that they were meeting their legal obligations. So
Cat.
so yeah, it's been a weird week. What can I say? So
A door has
yeah.
just opened, Kat, for you.
yes, that's
Opportunity
what I've
there.
been trying to see. So I've been trying to
New
regroup,
chapter,
refocus.
Kat.
That's the way. So yeah, so the potentially work related thing is one of my, I guess technically now former colleagues, but she and I
Already done it.
we work in tech, right? And it's
Reasonably.
really easy to be a minority in tech if you're not. Well, everyone on this call, with the exception of Andrew, would be a minority in tech. So she and I have I think it's coming a little bit from a place of frustration, but she and I have a working plan to start a podcast called PMS, which is going to be product management something. We haven't worked out the S yet, and we've got some ideas for that, and I've suggested that I'll do a blog per episode as well, and then that I would never have the courage to write a book on my profession at this point in time. Just my lizard brain, don't worry about it, but we figure if we can start it from this place of curiosity, which is will be the kind of angle of this, we'll yeah, and then I do blogs, and who knows, maybe one day I will feel that can all I see you, Justine. So yeah, I don't know, this might be project number 3, who knows.
If you're starting a podcast,
Yeah,
I'm actually creating a book from my podcasts.
yes, I know. I had to make a note.
And out of adversities, great things happen.
Yeah,
You just have to be open to it. Look
Yeah.
at my life. It's all come from adversity.
Yeah, no, it's I look, I mean, I'm working on it, and it's I'm definitely trying to see right now is all about opening doors and reaching out, and I decided that this was finally the moment to reach out to the company's EIP, which for the non-Australians would be an employee assistance program, which is basically like it's like a third-party counseling system you can reach to. And I'd always waited because it could get worse, and so I was holding on to my 3 sessions, and so on Thursday I was like, it can't get worse, so I booked in, and I've got been able to start talking to someone, and their suggestions the same, as sort of like keeping the radar of opportunity, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, so just going through the roller coaster of it a little bit. And I mean, I won't lie, there's a bit of relief in the mix because some of that crap was special. But yeah, just working on I admit I broke my writing streak during a couple of the days. It's very, I mean, if you're me, it's very sad. I know there's 3 little holes in my little chain, but that's all right. There are no more holes. Like it's back to it. So yeah, just regroup, restart, next chapter. And I've just copied down that podcast link.
Yeah, so I've just popped that link in the chat. This is a podcast I just released this week, and some of you may have heard it or not. Awesome podcast. This is a guy that's I just did, he'll be on the next video cast that comes out as well. Just an amazing guy, just published his first book, Big Bold Brave, lost his 17-year-old son just before COVID, who was a pilot, and it's an amazing story how his son flew into a mountain and died, and the very next day, the family just sat there and said, you know, we've got two choices here. We can live in the tragedy, or we can live a life that's a legacy to Gabriel, their son, who was always bold and brave. And so that's his mission, to help people be big, bold, brave, live courageously. So it's a great story. I think it'll inspire every one of you that listens to it. So good. Sorry to hear that challenge, Kat, but I think
Oh, good. Thank you.
I think it is, as Justine said, you know, it's a door opened. Because I know, you know, I mean, you didn't necessarily love what you did, and it took a lot of your time and away from other things. Well, now you can spend your time on other things. So
Yeah. Onwards and upwards.
awesome. Good. Well, I want to just throw something out to you guys right now. As some of you know, I went to Bali a couple of weeks ago. Who's been to Bali? Only Justine.
Me.
Oh, okay. So what's come out of this is I'm in the process, and still details to come, of running a retreat, a writing / wellness / inspiration retreat in Bali. Probably at this stage is looking like July, you know, Australia cold. Let's go to Bali.
That's a good time of the year to head to Bali. I went in August, so
Yeah, so just want to put it out there and see, you know, I mean, we'd love to have you guys.
what price point, Andrew?
Still working on that. There'll be two parts to it. There'll be a probably 5-day, and then a 2 or 3 day sort of master classy, you know, be looking at around ranging from $3,000, $3,500 for the 5 days, including accommodation and food and everything.
That's very reasonable. I'm paying $5,000 for an island one in November.
Yeah, and then probably around $6,000 for the full 7 or 8 days. So but it's going to be awesome, because there's so much. I mean, it's such a beautiful environment to just sit and devote yourself to your life and what you want and your book and your vision and all that sort of stuff. So would love to have some of you along if you think that's something you could find the time and the money to invest in. So just want to let you know that's happening, and I'll keep you updated with all the details. So
sounds good.
Bali's just a skip hopping.
As soon as we moved to Perth, we were like, we're going to Bali. It's like, it's the same time zone. It's like, I don't think it's hard, again, as the Americans don't understand this, but it's actually easier for me to get to Bali than it is for me to get to Sydney. And yet, as soon as we shifted, COVID, so it's like Bali's been off the menu for quite some time. So
it was only a couple of hours. Only a couple of hours.
Yeah. It's like 2-3 hours or something. It's like
in
nothing.
WA, a lot of the FIFO workers, instead of going back to Perth and that, they fly to Bali for their R&R.
Yeah.
And they have villas, permanent villas in Bali that they live in, and then just come back to Australia and work.
Yeah. I remember as a kid, like Bali was a place that like the rich people went to for their honeymoons. That was like my impression of Bali as a kid in the middle of landlocked America. And then like now, like everyone I know in WA is like, well, it's just Bali. Like, you know, like
isn't that a state of Australia?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
it's a very nice country to visit, and the people are beautiful.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful. Like, we never got abused. I went to Bali the day after Dean died last year, and I cried my way around Bali, but it was such a nice place to just sit and take in the culture, and you can choose to go and do things, or you can choose just to sit and absorb. You take your life in your own hands when you hop on one of their scooters, however, but everyone is so courteous to each other. Like, over here we have road rage, and you guys have road rage in America. They don't do that in Bali. Like, you got thousands of people at one particular time all merging in on scooters, and no one is abusive. They honk horns, but it's not abusive. It's just such a nice culture, and it'd be beautiful to write a book over there. Stunningly so.
So
Yeah.
anyway, that's coming. Exciting.
Anyway, guys, I've got to run. Thanks for this morning. I'm
All
going to
right.
spend
Well,
money.
I don't know. Thanks, Justine. Good to see you. Is there anything else that we need to want? Nathan Martin. Who's Nathan Martin? It's somebody in the
Making friends, Andrew.
Not sure who that is. Let's invite him and see what happens. Who is this person? This is a bit of a mystery. Someone's arriving. Who is that? Hello? Gone. Okay, that's all right. Anyone else want to share or anything else we want to touch on today? I think we've sort of done it, haven't we? We've done it in 45 minutes, which is okay. It's good. It's just good to see you all. See your smiling faces. Well done on what you're doing. Yeah, of course, Rosina. Of course we will. So before we go, we have to sing a big, loud, horribly enthusiastic happy birthday for Denise. So everyone, please unmute yourself and warm up your la 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 la. All right, we're ready. Your idea should be mouthful, water, lubricate those vocal cords, and we're going to sing happy birthday to Denise. All right, ready, set, go. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Denise. Happy birthday to you.
Remember, Australians, we go hip hip,
Hooray!
hip hip,
Hooray!
hip.
Hooray!
Oh, I love that.
Singing over
Thank you
Zoom,
so
man.
much.
That is
Have a great
I'm
day.
getting to celebrate 2 birthdays in a row. That's
I
wonderful.
know.
I wake up tomorrow morning and it's my birthday here.
And the
Beautiful.
main reason why we're writing
Enjoy.
books is because we can't sing.
especially not on Zoom. The Zoom choir has not been formed.
Yeah, it's all
Definitely
over
not.
the place. Anyway. Okay, guys, have a beautiful weekend. Have a great night
Yes.
in the US. Have a wonderful Saturday in Australia. Denise, have a beautiful birthday. Love you all, and I'll see you when I see you. I'm sure we're scheduled for most of you anyway, but if not scheduled, reach out and let's talk.
Thanks all.
Can't wait to hear about your launch,
I'll
Fred.
see you in 4 weeks. Okay,
Take
See you
care.
guys.
Bye.
bye.